So, running out of light, so I'm going to slap together a quick video, but I just decided I was going to branch out on the YouTube a little more, and part of it is going to be I'm going to go over my truck that I'm hunting, fishing, overlanding, maybe a little bit of rock crawling. I've got my Jeep YJ over there. That used to be my rock crawling rig, but it doesn't fit my whole family, so it's hard to put money into it. We've done the Rubicon, tons of trails in Moab with it over the years, and it's been torn apart for quite a few years now, and I just haven't had time to get back around to it. There's actually 2 renters cars over there that were abandoned before we bought this house. We're still trying to get all that dealt with. So anyways, we're gonna just go over this real quick. So I sold my Cummins, ended up buying this Power Wagon. It's a 2012, had like 95,000 miles. It was a little more expensive than I wanted for the condition it was in, but it was super hard with the way the market is right now to get what I was after for a decent price, and hunting season was coming up and I just had to commit. So I was a mechanic for 7-8 years, and I haven't mechanicked professionally for about 7-8 years. So obviously there's going to be some stuff that I have shops do, buddies or shops do. I'm still really close friends with the people at the dealership I worked with, so I still take my stuff in there all the time. In fact, they did the oil change on this before hunting season, solely because, and they knew it, I said, hey, I want you to change the oil, and they said, so you want it on a lift so you can go under it and just check everything? And I was like, yep. So put it on the lift. I went back while they changed the oil, checked everything. I do have a weird rattle. I haven't figured out where, and it's driving me bonkers. But that's besides the point. Anyways, so Power Wagons come factory with front and rear lockers, disconnecting sway bar, 456 gears in the axles, and it's a V8 Hemi, so it actually has a pretty decent amount of power. They are a lot heavier. They've got full skid plates underneath. It's got a worn winch on the front, I think 12,000 pound winch on the front from the factory. It is a steel cable, so I will work on swapping that over to synthetic. I went through, my kid came around the corner, kind of wiped him out. You alright, kid? So I did debadge it. It had Power Wagon logos, Hemi badges. I pulled all that stuff off. I'm going to swap the grill out to a black grill. I just don't like chrome. There's the winch right up under there. So, sorry, my kid's crying. I wiped him out. Yes. Hi, buddy. I know. So it is a 4-door. It's a short bed. They come factory with 33s. So I did have the windows tinted by one of my buddies at the dealership. Not a super fancy interior, which I kind of like. It's not a big old fancy crazy touchscreen. It has a touchscreen, but it's not like a crazy nav. I added this mount. This will hold my phone. Nothing too fancy in here. One of the things, so I really like this. My Duramax, I actually went and specifically got one with the folding center seat. I really like them. One thing with Dodge is they have this in the back. I've got the kids' car seats. These seats fold up, so this seat actually is it's the double. It'll fold up. I actually can fit my big giant Lifetime cooler inside, so it's not in the back. The other side will fold up. These are Thunderer track grip MTs. That's just what was on it when I bought them. These are not the factory. We'll be upgrading the brakes to power stop brakes. This truck's super heavy. It's got full length skid plate under, well, maybe not full length, but it's got way more skid plating than a factory Dodge. So it is a lot heavier with the lockers and everything else, the winch, all that stuff. So they are a lot heavier. The braking sucks to begin with, and once you start bumping the tire size up, they really suck. So I did do a decked system already. So, and my tailgate's locked, which means you can't get into the deck system. I could have unlocked that, but I kind of forgot. So I'll have to show that off at some other time, but I've kind of been playing around with how to set that up. I've got some recovery gear, jumper cables, some actual tow straps, not recovery straps. A couple different things. I've got a handyman jack just on top right now because I'm not sure what I'm going to do there. I've got bottle jacks and stuff inside. So yeah, I'm excited to do a bunch of stuff. I'm gonna be doing. I got rid of like that badge there. I had to go inside of here and grease this, and I actually got some grease on the outside of this. But like my tail light lenses leak, they've got a lot of moisture in them, so I'll be swapping those out, swapping the headlights out, just kind of aesthetically fixing what I don't love. I'm going to put a soft topper on this, and I think that the soft topper is going to work perfect for what I want. I can sleep in it. I can let the dog jump in there and just roll the sides up or put on the mesh windows, and she'll still get plenty of airflow. So I'm going to be doing that. I've been looking for a used one since I bought this truck and having zero luck. I'm debating on doing bead locks, but I don't plan on wheeling this super hard. Probably not going to do onboard air. Yeah, we're just going to kind of mess around with it. I would really like to wrap the entire thing in like a multicam is what I would really like to do, but probably going to do more of a tan, just matte tan. I don't love the white. White was my least desired color, and it's what I ended up with. So going to do a high clearance front and rear bumper, and then I'm planning on, my kid just chucked a ball and hit my camera. Kid? No. Absolutely not.
That was on top of it.
That's the microphone, buddy. Found out what he's aiming for. He almost got it too. He might have hit it. Anyways, what was I gonna say? Oh, I think what I'm going to do also is they have hitch mounted spare tire carriers that'll also mount. You can carry the handyman jack, fuel can, rotopack, something like that on there. I think I might go that route. I'm still debating pretty hard, but as soon as you jump up in size on your tires, you're not gonna fit underneath, and I don't want to just have a giant spare tire in the back all the time. So anyways, yeah. Oh, Go Rhino. It has Go Rhino steps, came with them from the factory or from the dealership. I don't mind them. They're not my favorite. They hang down a little bit. The guys that I bought this from, they actually weren't a dealership. They were kind of one of those weird off a main road parking lot dealers. Yeah, they didn't go through this thing very good. It needs a track bar. They took like spray paint and rattle canned the whole underside of the truck. I've got some leaking front axle seals. It's a small leak. I'm not super pressed to fix that right now. However, that is something I probably will have my buddy do, solely because he's got a lift, and yeah, it's a lot of work. I mean, you got to pull everything, gears, the carrier, everything. And like I said, this one does have lockers, so you got to unhook all your magnets for your lockers, pull your whole carrier assembly out. It's just a lot of work. And this truck doesn't fit in my garage, so I don't really have an enclosed area to do all that work. So it does have these like half rails on the bed. I'm going to get rid of those. Yeah, I don't have a use for them. However, I thought about converting them, do the soft topper and convert them into being able to mount like a handyman jack on the side and maybe like a rotopax on the other side, versus doing the rear spare tire carrier with all that stuff. It just gets really expensive really fast once you add in all that stuff. So yeah, this is, like I said, it's a pretty standard interior, nothing super fancy. They're kind of knockoff WeatherTech floor mats. And then, like I said, I've got like this under seat storage here. And right now there's just a Kafara Whoopee in there. And then I've actually got a Sitka jacket under here, which you can't even see, it's getting so dark. And then I have like my camp stove under there for a hot tent, for in case the weather gets really crappy and I need to hike out. I can grab my stove, hike back in, and have a heated tent. This is an Adventure Medical kit. It's the Sportsman 400 series. Yeah, Sportsman 400 series. I actually did a small video breakdown on this, and still a pretty big fan of that kit as far as a truck kit. I did add an extra tourniquet, and some chest seals, and I think some extra CPR face shields. I think that is something that's highly overlooked. You know, you see people with ankle EDC medical kits, which I don't do, and they'll have a tourniquet and combat gauze and stuff like that, but they don't have CPR face shields. And I'm like, statistically speaking, you're probably more likely to have to go do CPR on somebody than fill a bullet hole, like in modern, you know, modern big city America. I think that everybody should pack a CPR shield, even if that's the minimum that you pack. I don't pack one on myself, but my EDC bag has medical supplies, including that, and then that in the truck has some. So anyways, I'm thinking about doing the AEV big fender opening kit. You basically cut a huge chunk of your fender or wheel wells out and put new fender flares on to take up the gap, but this truck would be able to fit 40-inch tires with the Thurin springs and control arms and that kit. So I mean, it's kind of expensive and it's a lot of work, but I could fit 40s. So the only thing is 456s, even with a V8, with this much weight on this truck, you probably need to jump up the gears a little bit for that size of tire. But I don't EDC this truck. We've got my wife's nicer half-ton. I think I just said EDC. I don't daily drive this truck. We have my wife's nicer half-ton that we usually go out with the family more often in. She's got a Ram Rebel 19, and it's super nice, way fancier than this truck. It rides a lot better, and it gets a lot better gas mileage. And yeah, I have my work truck, which you've probably seen in the background a few times, and that's what I drive to and from work, and I work from every day. So this truck only gets driven when I want to play, or if the wife's like, she's out of town right now. So yeah, you know, we're gonna drive around in this because it's the only vehicle right now. But yeah, and then like I said, I've got the Jeep over here. One day I plan to get that going again, and then I've actually got a 51 Ford 2-door hot rod in there, and yeah, I need to finish that project up also. I have a lot of stuff that needs done. There's actually the broke 4Runner, which I think I mentioned in some other episodes. Drives around the property. We've got 10 acres. It drives around the property just fine, but as soon as you get on a highway, start having some overheating issues, and yeah, it's got some other issues. So works great for putting around the property, and so that's what we use it for. We go beat it up and baja up and down to the pond and through some brush. So anyways, I'm going to shut this off. Like I said, this one is just kind of a starting point of where this truck is, and like I said, I haven't done much other than debadged it, worked on a couple things, and put the decked system in. Shut this off. It's getting dark. We need to get the kids inside, get ready for bed, and they've been playing in the dirt for hours, so probably need to go wash them first. Anyways, have a good one, guys. Talk to you later.